Liverpool only need to worry about one team in the Premier League, and it's not Arsenal. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. Let's dive into this. So Liverpool need to really focus on the Premier League and all other competitions that still lie ahead. Now, who is the team that could really stand in Liverpool's way? Well, it is none other than themselves this season. See, it's not about Arsenal, it's not about Manchester City or anyone else who's been hitting form of late. This is really about how resilient Liverpool is going to remain for the remainder of the season, and they've got to be really, really careful about things like injuries, which could really put a damper on the season. We've seen this in seasons past, where Liverpool was on this phenomenal run for the majority of the season, and then comes a particular time of the year where they are just hit with a lot of injuries, a lot of unfortunate circumstances, and there's a dip of form, and Liverpool then losing out on that valuable title race either to an Arsenal or in a lot of cases Manchester City. So Liverpool will have to be very, very careful looking after their players, really wrapping them up in cotton wool and making sure that they are looking after these players, treating them well, and making sure that we can see out the rest of the season with the players that we have. Do we need to go to the market to get a couple of players? Probably. But the players that are at Liverpool Football Club at the moment is such a pool of rich talent that I believe they will be able to see out the rest of the season with taking Liverpool all the way in all of those competitions that Liverpool is in. And yes, I am speaking about Premier League, Champions League, the EFL, as well as the FA Cup. Could Liverpool do the quadruple? Well, if they stay clear of any of those instances I've mentioned, the injuries, the dip of form, I believe that they can. See, Liverpool sit in this comfortable position at the moment, and on the weekend we saw with that fantastic 2-0 win over Bournemouth, Liverpool going 9 points clear at the top of the Premier League, and of course Arsenal coming back doing a phenomenal job of a 5-1 thrashing against Manchester City. That was just awesome to see. But it also means that they close that gap to 6 points again. Now for Liverpool, this means that that game in hand against Everton is the opportunity that Liverpool will have to stretch that lead back to 9 points. But Liverpool are going to have to be focused. The Toffees are not going to make this easy on Liverpool, as they shouldn't. They shouldn't make it easy. It's got to be a hard work for 3 points for Liverpool Football Club just to stretch that lead back up to 9 points. Now, Liverpool does pivot over to the EFL on Thursday. They play Tottenham Hotspur, and this return fixture is going to be very, very important. Liverpool will have to go out or go all out against Tottenham. They want to turn over that deficit, that 1-0 deficit, and win. Now, fortunately for Liverpool, this is at Anfield, which gives them that home ground advantage, and they're going to take advantage of that. That's what I believe, to make that deficit or turn over that deficit. Now, it also means that there are a couple of tough games for Liverpool laying ahead. Liverpool will also have to take their A game to Arsenal back in the Premier League, and I think that they really can do it. There's also going to be a focus on the Champions League in that time. So a lot of tough games laying ahead for Liverpool, and Liverpool are going to have to remain focused. They're going to have to be resilient. They are going to have to apply strategy, and Arne Slot is going to have to be very tactical, as he always is, in this next run of fixtures to make sure that Liverpool maintain that momentum that they've got, and they can stretch that lead in the Premier League back up to 9 points, if not more. Now, if asked, there are really two players that I am concerned about. And the first is Federico Chiesa. He's just been an absolute beast in that match against PSV. And whenever really he's on the field, he is an absolute beast. manages to take control of that game in the midfield, steer things in the way that Liverpool really wants it to go. And we can see him running into key areas, receiving the ball into key areas, making those pivotal and important passes, crosses, and is not afraid to go all out and go on goal with the ball. So he's the type of player that we really want to look after in this period of time now for Liverpool. And one of the things that is a real danger for him is his injuries. Now, he was phenomenal in Italy, but one of the problems was his injuries that he kept picking up from time to time. And I hope, and I'm holding thumbs and touching wood and crossing fingers and toes, that this does not plague him in the latter part of the league and the latter part of this season. Liverpool are going to want to rely on a player like Federico Chiesa. I mean, we brought him in for that type of talent and ability that he's showcased so far when he has had a run with the ball. He's in phenomenal form, so we want to see more of that. So it will be really great if he could maintain his level of fitness and stay in this competition, but he remains a concern for me, and I hope that we can look after him and look after his physical fitness. The other player that I am very, very concerned about is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, not from a physical perspective here, but rather a mental one. What's going on in that player's head? Now, we know there's a lot of controversy around Trent Alexander-Arnold, and some of these conversations are about contracts and his future. Now, it might not seem like it's plaguing him too much, or perhaps you may have picked that up. I'm not really sure. Let me know in the comments. But what I can pick up is that this is something that's really, really difficult since he's in the news and the media all of the time. And that can only but really put a lot of pressure on a player like him. Remember, he's still a young lad. This is a lot of pressure. At almost every press conference, the manager is being asked about Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I'm sure he's heard these reports. He's heard some of the questions that are being asked, and I'm sure he's seen an article or two, and I'm sure he even keeps track of what is being said on social media. So that just, to me, really exasperates the type of pressure that could put on a player. And we've seen in moments in the game where it's just been really difficult for him, and I think he's under a lot of pressure. If we can relieve some of that pressure, I think we'll have a very easy run for Trent. And while he really comes forward and says what his next plan is while he's at Liverpool Football Club, I think we still need him a lot. He is very, very vital to this team, and I hope that we'll see those fantastic runs and those fantastic crosses from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I'm sure he will continue to work hard at the back, in his right back position, and that we can rely on him. We've been relying on him for so many other things throughout this season, and I'm sure we're going to see more. Well, those are really the two players that I am most concerned about. Other than that, I think Liverpool does have a fantastic pool of players over here. We've hit some fantastic form. We just need to keep on with that. Our ball possession, we are very, very strong when we possess that ball, moving it around very, very slowly and then switching gears and moving through very quickly. And the player that orchestrates all of that, really the puppet master pulling the strings, Ryan Gravenberch. And how awesome is it to see this young talent on the field. But as for me, the two players that I have the biggest concerns about, Federico Chiesa as well as Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I'm sure Arne Slot and Arne, I trust, he will be able to iron this out as Liverpool takes the game to Tottenham, or at least they welcome Tottenham to Anfield on Thursday. Well, thank you for tuning in. If you found these insights helpful, please like and share, and feel free to comment. Let's keep the conversation going. I'd love to hear from you. And remember, as always, you'll never walk alone.